I wonder how America is doing with all of its freedom.
I think we need to push back on this. There's no guarantee to free speech on misinformation or hate speech, and especially around our democracy.
Destroying free speech for democracy sure doesn't sound very democratic, as of course we now have had a major escalation in the fight for online freedom with the arrest of the Telegram founder, as many people are now saying. It's only a matter of time until they come for all people who dare to express the opinions that the state doesn't deem appropriate. As of course, the arrest of the Telegram chief executive, Paul Durov, has a lot more implications than you would even understand it to have, as Elon Musk and others are now raising the alarms about the huge, large chilling effect that now has been set, as other people believe that there's far more sinister and conspiratorial motives here, as the 39-year-old billionaire was arrested as soon as his private jet landed in France, where an arrest warrant was served specifically dealing with Telegram, an app that a lot of people use to just simply message each other and to gather information and to communicate with each other, that specifically is being targeted by authorities because of their, quote, lack of moderation. As Pavel is now being accused of stopping to, quote, curb criminals on Telegram. He's also accused of failing to cooperate with authorities, as Telegram is one of the most major, biggest social media platforms in the world right now amongst Facebook, YouTube, and others. It's very popular in places like Ukraine and former Soviet Union states, as of course the app was previously banned in Russia in 2018 after they of course refused to hand over data to the government that demanded that critics of its state be of course deplatformed. The app was reinstated back in 2021, as the CEO previously had to flee Russia in 2014 after the Russian government was, of course, putting pressure on the platform to comply with its censorious ways. This, as of course, now the Russian embassy has posted that they are seeking clarification about this entire matter, as now we're finding out that the French authorities have not been cooperating here, as American CIA whistleblower and now a man exiled from the American state currently living in Russia, Edward Snowden, took to social media and described the arrest of Durov as an assault on the basic human rights of speech and association. Going on and saying, quote, "I am surprised and deeply saddened that Macron has descended to the level of taking hostages as means for gaining access to private communications. It lowers not only France, but the world." This, as of course, the UK was also recently putting pressure on Telegram, specifically pinpointing it as the major application that was allowing alleged right-wing rallies and protests to, of course, start up in their countries. As even I personally have used Telegram in order to, of course, get information that a lot of the big tech social media companies do not allow you to have, specifically when it comes to conflict reporting, when it comes to understanding the situation in the Middle East, when it comes to understanding the situation in Ukraine right now. I have found Telegram to be one of the most accurate sources of information that is completely unvetted, unfiltered, and in its rawest, truest form. As of course, you get literal, on-the-ground reports of step-by-step analysis and, of course, developments in foreign conflicts that you can't get anywhere else in great detail and up-to-date information that absolutely obliterates the corporate media when it comes to their, quote, reporting, which really is just kind of PR for the establishment that, of course, pays it off routinely. This says there's also reports from Al Jazeera right now of Russian government officials being ordered to delete their Telegram messages, as Elon Musk took to his Twitter platform, as of course the arrest of the Telegram CEO highlights the possible larger arrest of Elon Musk that recently has been threatened by many European Union countries and non-European Union countries like the United Kingdom that specifically have been not only wagging the finger but directly threatening the CEO of Twitter that he would be arrested if he doesn't censor information that the European government doesn't want its citizens hearing or discerning from. As this is the clip that Elon Musk posted from an interview with Tucker Carlson that the CEO of Telegram previously did.
We love the fact that Elon bought Twitter. We thought it was a great development for a number of reasons. First reason is just innovation. You could see X trying a lot of things. Some of them will turn out to be mistakes. Some of them will work. but at least they're trying to innovate. That's something we didn't have outside of Telegram and a few other companies in this industry for the last 10 years. What X is trying to do is innovation, trying different things, trying to give power to the creators, trying to get the ecosystem economy going. Those are all exciting things. And I think we need more companies like that. I don't know if it's good for humanity that like Elon is spending so much time on Twitter making it better, but it's definitely good for the social media industry.
As it's fair to say that if I'm Elon Musk right now and I'm seeing what's happening to the CEO of other major tech companies, that this probably would be the time that I don't do any kind of foreign visits, especially to tyrannical countries like France that don't respect or value people's ability to speak freely with each other. As of course, Tucker Carlson took to social media to of course tweet about this story as he recently interviewed the CEO of Telegram saying, quote, Pavel Durov left Russia when the government tried to control his social media company Telegram. But in the end, it wasn't Putin who arrested him for allowing the public to exercise free speech. It was a Western country, a Biden administration ally, an enthusiastic NATO member that locked him away. Pavel Durov sits in a French jail tonight, a living warning to any platform owner who refuses to censor the truth at the behest of government and intel agencies. Darkness has descended fast on the formal free world. Here's our interview with Durov from several months ago. As that interview was posted in April of this particular year, and I think the little tidbits that were released from Tucker Carlson highlight the larger possibility of why the CEO of Telegram was recently arrested. As Durov specifically detailed how the FBI tried to secretly install a backdoor that would allow U.S. intel agencies to spy on all Telegram users.
We get too much attention from the FBI, the security agencies, wherever we came to the US. So to give you an example, last time I was in the US, I brought an engineer that is working for Telegram, and there was an attempt to secretly hire my engineer behind my back by cybersecurity officers or agents, wherever they are called.
The US government should hire your engineer?
That's my understanding. That's what he told me.
Durov then later kind of explained how literal FBI agents were interrupting his breakfast at homes that he rented in order to, of course, learn more about Telegram and, of course, what they were doing, even though he clearly didn't commit any crime here. As it's fair to say here that many governments wanted to control Telegram better because they probably already had some kind of control of it already. Now, what exactly happened here behind the scenes? What was the CEO of Telegram not complying with? What are the larger allegations here? Well, we're going to have to wait to really find out the truth about this, as, of course, the corporate media take on this, as perfectly represented by Brian Krasenstein, was, of course, that he wasn't moderating content well enough, specifically content related to illegal activities related to, of course, small children. Now, is that the accusation here? Again, we do not know here. And we will find out when, of course, the story develops and we get more information from, of course, the French government when we are able to find out what exactly he's being charged with and why he is facing 20 plus years in jail for the actions of running a social media platform just like Mark Zuckerberg does. As of course, there are previous stories out there of Mark Zuckerberg and specifically Facebook enabling child predators on their platform and their platform being used in many instances to, of course, do horrible, unspeakable things to children. Again, this is a family-friendly show here, so we're going to keep it PG-13 here, but it's fair to say that what the CEO of Telegram is being accused of happens routinely on Facebook. Because, of course, there's a lot of illegal things that, of course, happen on that particular platform. But why isn't Mark Zuckerberg facing the same amount of scrutiny, the same amount of public hate from the corporate media, the same amount of pressures that, of course, other people like the CEO of Telegram and Elon Musk are facing that, of course, are routinely threatened with arrest and jail for running their platforms that, of course, essentially allow human beings to be human beings. There's some good human beings, there's some bad human beings, but I think the truth in all of this is that Mark Zuckerberg spends hundreds of millions of dollars, of course, making sure that more politicians from the Democratic political side get his support directly. While, of course, the other social media CEOs aren't really cheerleading the establishment as much as Mark Zuckerberg is, as of course Elon Musk decided to respond to the larger question of why isn't Mark Zuckerberg facing a lot of this scrutiny, pressure, and legal lawfare that of course everyone else is. And according to Elon Musk, it's because, quote, he caved into censorship pressures, describing how Instagram has a massive child exploitation problem. And of course, he gives the government a complete backdoor to allow federal agencies to do whatever they want with that particular platform. Now, the CEO of Telegram's adoration of Elon Musk and Twitter now does highlight larger kind of targets that are being put on Elon Musk's back, as some people have even said that there's probably going to be a lot of significant threats against his own personal life and well-being, as he's facing a lot of federal investigations and literal threats of arrest by governments like the United Kingdom that aren't happy about people talking freely on their platform. And again, a lot of this boils down towards complying, acquiescence, and of course, bowing the knee down to very awful intelligence agencies that abuse their positions of power and are absolutely insecure about it to the point of them lashing out against anyone who doesn't fully comply with their wishes and whims. As Edward Snowden again said, first they came for TikTok, and I did not speak out because I was not 12 years old. Then they came for the Telegram, and I did not speak out because I was using some other app on something, I don't know. Then they came for literally every other platform for dissent, and I did not speak out because, bro, how the TF could I? That's the entire point. Wake up, wake up, wake. As that point, I think, is very well illustrated here by even Chris Pavlovski admitting that his platform probably is next after Twitter, as David Sachs tweeted out how a lot of the big social media platforms that are not complying are absolutely being taken down. Andrew Tate even described a private dinner that he had with the CEO of Telegram, specifically describing how they felt larger pressures of powerful forces going after them, which Pavel privately, according to this report from Andrew Tate, agreed with, saying, quote, they're coming for everyone. As other social media platforms have already been banned in many different countries, as of course Brazil recently banned Twitter, China banned Rumble, along with many other countries that of course are allergic to people just being able to speak to each other freely without any kind of censorship. As Chris Pavlovski even detailed how he just safely departed from Europe, since France also was threatening his company, describing how his company will not stand for this behavior and will use every legal means available to fight for freedom of expression, a universal human right that they are fighting in the court systems of France of, as they are hoping for the immediate release of Pavel Durov. As even Vitalik came out and said that he previously criticized Telegram for not having serious encryption. He says that this is a very bad and worrying situation for the future of software and communication freedoms in Europe, and I would absolutely agree with him. Now, the larger question kind of resides here. Will there be some kind of stand here? Will there be the people who believe in the ability to talk to each other freely, standing together, fighting up against these larger technocratic, centralized, bureaucratic pressures that are absolutely undemocratic and tyrannical? Will the forces of good, will the forces that are correlated with prosperity, with freedom, with the opportunity for individuals to discern and be able to look through information themselves prevail over the forces of evil that want to, of course, bring in darkness, censorship, and the destruction of people's ability to just communicate with each other? This is a major issue, an issue of our time that will determine the future of humanity. We either will go down a communistic, centralized way of thinking and obeying the system that will ever so be abusive, insecure, and angry against its citizenry, Or will we move towards a more decentralized, a more open, a more free, a more kind of light form of government where people get to determine their own path in life, get to actually have all the information available to them in front of them to discern and make the right decisions for themselves on a one-on-one individual basis? That's what's at stake right now, and it's being fought very seriously. And it's one reason why I started thebestpoliticalshirts.com. Cheesy plug, I know, but with the way that things are going, shirts are still one of the few ways that you could actually express yourself without any forms of censorship. The one that I have on now, you could get on thebestpoliticalshirts.com, and it's literally something that I've been fully investing in ever since facing my own particular instances of censorship on many social media platforms, and understanding, hey, seeing the writing on the wall, like, hey, they're limiting our reach here. They're unsubscribing people here. Hey, they're demonetizing us. Hey, they're downranking us in the algorithm. Hey, they're kind of really doing everything they can to make sure that we can't even speak to each other. What better way than to, of course, diversify these efforts by putting out memes, putting out particular important political messages out there on t-shirts, and then having people wear them in the comments, wear them at the supermarket, the grocery store, the bank, the park, the beach, wherever you're at. You could send out a larger political message that not only lets people know that they're not alone, but also spurs on moments of critical thinking and analysis that they would never have if it wasn't for you doing your own form of lazy activism, which you could do just by simply purchasing a shirt on thebestpoliticalshirts.com. This, of course, also supports this independent media broadcast, as, of course, we have a lot of really funny shirts. A lot of them are too spicy to show here on this particular platform. And those shirts and many others are all available only on thebestpoliticalshirts.com. They also make pretty good gag gifts, as, of course, there's no better gift than a funny t-shirt that you could wear that will definitely get you a lot of attention. Great way to meet like-minded individuals, to build up your neighborhood and community of individuals who think like you do. Having that is not only giving you a sense of purpose or community, but also a sense of knowing that if something happens, you at least have some kind of support network out there. Again, it's as simple as wearing a t-shirt and standing behind your ideas that you fully believe in, speaking your truth, living your own kind of fullest, authentic life. And you can do that just by getting a t-shirt on thebestpoliticalshirts.com. And I really do appreciate it when you do. So check out the link down in the description below and get a t-shirt. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys, and this is why I love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on youtube.com/wearechange.